Hi class, welcome to Parties and Campaigns for fall 2018. My name is Dr. Michael Artime. I apologize again for not being able to be with you here these first couple of class periods. I will be returning on Wednesday. In the meantime, I just wanted to say thank you for both some of the comments that you sent me, as well as your understanding during this time that's been really difficult for my family. So just wanted to express my appreciation, my gratitude for that. Okay. So again, my name is Dr. Michael Artime. This is my third year at PLU. I started the same year that my wife, Dr. Tiffany Artime, started at the university. She's in the psychology department. You can see her picture here as she holds our 11-month-old daughter, Louise. Next to that picture is a picture of Louise with our dog, our Labradoodle, Warner. He's pretty indifferent to Louise, but she loves him. She likes to climb on him. She likes to rest on him. She sometimes sticks her hand in his mouth and starts pulling on his teeth and his tongue. So they've hopefully started a good relationship, and hopefully he'll warm to her in the future. Um, so that's a little bit about me. I'm going to have an opportunity for you to introduce yourself to the class as well. So tomorrow between 3 and 4, I'm going to ask that you attend a Google Hangout session. I'll send you more information in the email about this, but you'll have an opportunity there to introduce yourself to me. And I'll also be available during that time period for you to ask me any questions that you have about the content in the course, so that when I return on Wednesday, we can really get started on the content and move forward in the substance of the course. Thanks. So just the basics of what we're going to be doing in the class. The textbook, again, hopefully you have a copy of that textbook. It's Party Politics in America. It's actually the 17th edition of that book by Marjorie Randon Hershey. Really a preeminent book in helping us understand the way that party dynamics work in American politics. If you want to see me during office hours, my official office hours are Monday and Wednesday, 10 to 11:30, in my office, Xavier 106. I'm also available by appointment as well, so I'm here most days. Feel free to send me an email, and I'll set up a time for us to get together and talk about whatever questions or concerns that you have. A couple notes about my expectations in the class. First of all, you need to do the assigned readings before the start of class. So if a chapter is listed on a particular day, you should have it read by the start of class on that day. The reason why I ask that is that I don't want to regurgitate what you've read in the book. I don't want us to go over that again. I want us to all start on an equal playing field, having read that chapter, and then I want to expand on some of the elements in that chapter that I think are particularly interesting, or that I'd like to take a deeper dive on. Additionally, there will be no late work accepted without pre-approval from the instructor or a documented medical emergency. This is also out of a desire to have fairness in the classroom. I want all students to do the work on time, and it's not fair for me to make allowances for people to turn something in, days or weeks after other students, and to evaluate it fairly. Also, I expect compliance with university and class policies at all times. I'm not going to go over each of those policies here. I'd like you to take a look at the syllabus. And again, you'll have an opportunity tomorrow to ask me any questions that you have. Now on to some of the more exciting business. Really, you're in this class at a really fortunate time. We are going to really tether this course to current events that are happening around the midterm elections here in 2018. You're going to be assigned a House or Senate campaign And I'm going to only include in the list of campaigns that we're studying here those that are particularly interesting and competitive. So you're going to follow that race intensively until the November elections. So each class period before November, what you are going to do is come to class prepared to tell us a little bit about what's happening in your assigned race. So you're going to tell us what the polling currently says about that race. You're going to talk about any important developments that have occurred between the time that we last met in relationship to that race. And I expect you to have an in-depth understanding of the important issues that are being highlighted by by both campaigns in the race. So I expect you to be able to answer questions that I might have about what's happening in that race and how the campaigns are responding. After November, you are going to produce an original manuscript. It's going to be about 20 pages long that assesses what the loser in your assigned race did wrong or could have done differently to end up being more successful. More information in this paper is going to be provided later on, but I just wanted to plant that seed here early in the course. Other graded assignments, you'll have daily reading quizzes. Again, that is related to what I was talking about just a few moments ago, the need for us all to arrive to class on the same page with regard to the topics that we're going to be discussing. There is going to be a midterm on October 31st through November 7th. That is a week in which you will be able to take home an exam. That exam is going to ask you a question that is requiring you to evaluate the topics that we'll be talking about here in class as they relate to some issue in contemporary politics. Additionally, the final is going to be released at the start of finals week and due on the last day of finals. Again, so a take-home exam. You're free to use your notes, your book, any other materials that you can get access to analyze the question that I'll be providing. So in this course, we're going to be covering a number of different topics. We'll talk about the two-party system, state and local party organizations, national party organizations, party activists, those on the ground within the parties, party identification, how do we decide what party to support and why, party coalitions, who are the groups that make up the Republican and Democratic parties in this country, and who are the groups that make up third parties in this country. Why is voter turnout the way that it is here in the United States? Why are we underwhelmed by the amount of people that turn out in elections, particularly state and local elections in this country? How do parties choose which candidates they would like to support, and have the parties lost some of the control in choosing who the candidates are going to be? How do party dynamics play into presidential campaigns? And we'll in particular look at the Republican Party and how they arrived at the Trump campaign in the 2016 election. We'll talk about campaign finance as well as some of the challenges in campaign finance that have arisen as a result of some recent Supreme Court decisions. We'll talk about party dynamics in Congress and whether or not it is possible for the parties to achieve bipartisan consensus on some of the issues which are facing the country right now. We'll talk about party dynamics in state legislatures and whether those are different than what we see at the national level. We'll talk about what it means to be a responsible political party. What should a political party hope to do? And we'll talk ultimately about the place of parties in American politics. And so one of the things that I want to leave you with, and we'll return to this at the end of the class, but this is a question that I want you to continue to think about as we move through this material. Are political parties good or bad for American democracy? Why or why not? I want you to think about that question, and after we do our study in this course and we examine all of the issues which we will be covering, I want you to return to this. And so we'll talk about this at the end of the course, whether or not political parties are good or bad. Again, I just want to thank you all for your understanding. And I look forward to joining you on Wednesday and diving into the content in the course. Also, as I said before, make sure to take some time tomorrow, which is Monday, to go onto the Google Hangout and to introduce yourself to me and ask me any questions that you have about the class. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day.